Hello everyone, welcome back to our My 2018 tutorial series on our decorative box. This is the updated version from my other playlist. This is also going to be our last video. So last lesson we finished modeling and texturing our decorative box, and now we are going to build a background, create a three-point light setup, and do our final batch render. So let's go ahead and start with creating a backdrop. So we can do this one of a couple different ways. I'm going to just go ahead and create myself a box. So I'll drop a cube in here, and I'm going to scale this up quite a bit. Okay. Basically, this is just going to be kind of like a diorama, guys. We're going to delete off these faces over here, giving us two walls in the background and the ground. So I'm going to switch over to my face component type. So I'm going to hold down right mouse button, go to face mode, select this face, and this face. So shift left mouse button, selecting these guys. So I have these three components selected, and I'm just going to hit delete. Now I'm left with this background. So I'll go back to object mode so I can move this up. I'm going to hit W for translate. Oops. At this point, I don't really need the grid anymore either, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the grid off. So that is this icon right here in the viewport. I'll turn the grid off visibility. Okay, so now we get to start working with our diorama box. Something like that. So if you guys recall, the gray on the outside means the normals are facing outward, which is what all the primitive objects do by default. Normals only face in one direction. So what we need to do is we need to reverse the normals. They're facing inwards, so that the inside will render. So we're going to go to face mode again. We're going to go to select this face, and this face, and we'll go to mesh display, and we're going to go to reverse. So now the textures are now facing inward, and we have that gray, light gray texture on the inside. Okay, that's good. Now we need some actual texture to apply to these guys, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to jump on the internet, and we're going to look for some seamless tile textures. I'm just going to search seamless stone tile texture. And I'll just go to images. Here we go. So you can pick out any one you want. For my class, I don't really care which one you use. Let's say you want one that doesn't have any kind of watermark on it. Let's go with this one here. And I'll just go to, and this is a good file size, so it should work good. Go File, Save Image As. I can just go to my desktop and look for my decorative box project. And underneath source images, there we go. And I'll just call this one ground. Hit save. And maybe add stone wall. See if we get a little bit of a different search parameter come up. Okay. Let's maybe go with something. Nope, that one's got a watermark on it. Let's take a look at this one. Also has a watermark. This one's good. All right. No, it doesn't have a watermark. Okay, this is also done SketchUp. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. We'll go with this one. Same place. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start attaching this in. We're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to use two different tools on this. We can attach them in by face, or we can separate these and make it into two separate objects. It gives a little bit more power with our project. So I'm going to separate the walls and the ground into two different objects. I'm going to go to face mode, I'm going to select the bottom face down here, and I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Edit Mesh. Underneath Face, I'm going to hit Extract. That'll turn it into its own object. I'm going to go ahead and name this one here. So I'll open up my channel box, go to where it says Poly Surface 2. I'm going to rename this as Mesh underscore ground. I'm going to select the back walls. This one's going to be Mesh underscore walls. Okay. So the ground, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and get this going. So I'm going to hold down right mouse button with the ground selected. Get my floating menu to come up. I'm going to go to Assign Material, Assign Favorite Material. I'm going to go to Lambert. Okay, and underneath the color attribute, I'm going to go to File, Folder, and I'm going to go to Ground and hit Open. Okay, so looks really fuzzy because the texture is not repeated yet. So let's go ahead and take care of that really fast, make this look a little bit better. So I will jump into my two panel. I'll go to Panels, Panel, and UV Editor. Okay. Looking at this texture here, this one might not actually do. I didn't think fuzziness between these words going to carry through, but we might have to adjust this. We'll see. Might have to replace with something else. So I'm going to go to UV Shell, select this one here, R for scale. I'm going to scale this up. So we get a nice repeat, but not too much so that you can see the pattern. That actually looks pretty good, and I think that since I have it repeated in this amount of times, that it actually looks pretty good. So the fuzziness has kind of gone away, and that means I don't have to replace it with a different texture. Okay, so let's go ahead and deal with the background as well. So we're going to go cut back, and we're going to hold down right mouse button. I'll go to Assign Favorite Material. I'll go back to Lambert, go to the color attribute. I'm going to go to File, Folder, and I'm going to select Seamless Stone Wall. We're going to hit Open. Okay, go ahead and click on this guy. You can see how they're broken apart. They're not actually connected. We can go ahead and fix that really easily. So what I have to do is go to Edge Mode. We're going to select one side edge here. And we're going to go to, inside the UV Texture Editor, we're going to go to Modify, or I'm sorry, Cut and Sew. We're going to go down to Move and Sew. There we go. So now these two shells are together, meaning that now I can scale these guys up and they will stay connected and seamless. So I'll get R for scale, and I'm going to scale this up until I get a nice tile going on. It looks good in the background. Say, keeping an eye over here to make sure the tile looks good in comparison to the box and the ground texture. And I think that that will probably do. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, well, that's good for now. Let's go ahead and close the UV texture editor. So, into my perspective. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to light my scene, because right now my scene is being lit by default. There's a default lighting built into Maya, and right now that's all we're seeing through. That's the reason why there's no shadows or anything like that. So if I turn that off, it also gets really dark, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and create ourselves a few lights. So we're going to go to where it says Create, and you can see lights. And the one we're going to use right now is the directional light. Okay, what that does, it creates a infinite light source, kind of emulating the sun, but it only comes in one direction. So we have to decide what is our front-facing light, which is going to be, for me, it's going to be this kind of side angle, kind of like that. Doesn't matter where this light source is. It doesn't matter what the angle is. So the light source itself, like I said, since it's infinite in one direction, I don't have to worry about how far away it is from the object. It's going to hit it. There's no fall off. Doesn't matter how close it is either. So this being this close, it'll be just fine. Okay, so now I'm going to turn on the lights for the room so I can now start making adjustments. So click the little light inside the viewport. Okay, so now not a whole lot changed. But that's just because this light took over and it's giving it full blast intensity. So I'm going to bring this intensity value down to, let's say, 0.8. Turn off sRGB gamma, since that is not what's going to render with. sRGB gamma is something you want to have on if you're going to be exporting, so you can get kind of a preview. Or if you're using a different render engine that uses sRGB inputs. Okay, so this is what I really will be looking at. I think even, let me bring it back up to 0.9. Okay, that's okay. And I want there to be shadows is right now. Oh, actually, let's just go ahead and bring this all the way back up to 1 for now. And I want there to be a shadow, so I'm going to select my base mesh down here for the ground, and I'm going to, where it says, you see how on the attribute editor, the mesh ground shape tab, there's one that says render stats. I'm going to make sure cast and receive shadows is turned on. We're going to select this one, make sure cast and receive shadows is turned on. We're going to select the background, and we don't want shadows or to cast shadows, because otherwise if we put backlighting on there, it's going to cast a shadow over the top of this guy, and we don't want that on. Okay. Now is all we got to do is turn shadows on for our light. So we're going to go to where it says shadows. We're going to open this up, and down at the bottom, it has ray tracing on. So that means that it will cast shadows. So I just need to turn shadows on my viewport. So the top of my viewport, right next to the light bulb, I click on this icon. Also, you can see now there's a shadow behind my decorative box. Okay, so went through all of my checks and they are all good. Okay, so now I'm going to take my directional light and I want to create 2 more lights. So this first one here, I'm going to go ahead and call this one my main directional light. Then this one over here is going to be my fill. It's just going to be off to one side, knowing that my camera's I'm going to shoot from is going to be sitting at this angle. And I'm going to tilt it up a bit. I'm going to go back into my attribute editor, so click on my little side tab here. I'm going to bring the intensity value down to a fraction of what the other one was. So instead of being 1, I'm going to bring this one down to, let's say, 0.6. Okay. And then we're going to create a contrasting light that's going to be behind it. But before I do that, I want to turn the shadows off. So you can see how like mine is still casting a little shadow right here. You don't want multiple light sources causing multiple shadows. So what I'm going to do is go down to the shadows versus ray tracing, and for this light source, I'm going to turn it off. So that way it's only just going to light the scene but not cast a shadow like it's putting light on the object from a direct light source. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control D one more last time. This one's going to be my backlight. So this one's my fill light. I should go ahead and rename this one as well. This one will be fill, and then the backlight here. We're going to take this one, we're going to rotate it around so it's now directly opposite of my main light, or point light, if you want to be technical with your lighting terms. I didn't call it a point light because there is lights inside of my called point lights. It's a little confusing. We'll get into that later. Okay, so now I have a backlight. Okay, call this one back light. The intensity I'm going to leave the same. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now I'm going to create myself my virtual camera. So I'm going to go to Create, Cameras, and Camera. There we go. I'm just going to place it in the scene. Probably this actually doesn't look too bad of a spot right now. Let's go ahead and look through it and see what it's seeing and make any final adjustments. So I'm going to go to Panels, Perspective, and you'll see Camera 1. That's the one I just created. I'm going to go ahead and set myself up at this angle right here. So I get a little bit of the room wall. Really good composition. Decorative boxes. filling part of the screen. Okay. Maybe I'll get a little closer actually. I want it to be the subject. Something like that. Oh, that's good. All right, so I'm going to go to my render settings. So click on the little movie take looking thing. It'll pull up in the little gearbox on the side. It'll pull up in our render settings. And by default, right now, Maya is using render with Arnold renderer, which we're not using any Arnold shaders. So we want to go ahead and turn this off. We're going to Maya software instead. And we're going to go to render out a PNG. Now in the other animations, we are creating animation. So since we're just going to do a single frame render, we're just going to leave it as single frame. We're not going to mess with that one at all. You can see that the path currently is set to Decorative Box project images, so it's going to render directly into our project folder, which is what we want. Presets, we're going to go ahead and set this up to HD 1080. Okay, and we're going to tell it to render from our camera one. Okay, go ahead and close this. Actually, before we close this, let's go over to the Maya software tab. Right now it's set to low quality. Let's go ahead and pull this up to highest quality since it's only a still image. Make sure underneath ray tracing quality, we turn on ray tracing. I'll up our, it'll create our shadows is what it'll do for us. Okay, if this is not activated, then your scene will have no shadows, even though you can see them inside the scene. Okay, so let's go ahead and close our render settings. Let's go ahead and change the modeling drop down to rendering. And underneath the renderer, before we go and do this though, we'll be going to batch render, but before we do this, let's go ahead and go to file and save scene. That way if Maya crashes, we don't lose any of our work. And now we can go to render and batch render. So this will take just a minute for Maya to go ahead and get the render engine started. And once it goes, it'll go through this last bit really quickly. I'll go ahead and pull open the folder that it should be located inside of. See it pop in there. We can open up our final render. Desktop, Decorative Box. And then this will be located underneath our images where the final one will be. And it'll be just a minute before Maya fires up. You know, a little bit of time for it to get going. And there it goes. Now it's rendering off. Okay, so there's our final image. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got. There it is. Our final render looks a little bit too bright, so I'm actually going to lower down the intensity of our light. Switch back to my perspective camera. And looks like it's actually using the sRGB for the PNG. So maybe I do need to lower down the intensity on these guys. So let's go ahead and bring the strength. Right now it's set up to 1. Let's go ahead and bring this down to 0.6. Let's go ahead and bring these guys down to 0.2. Okay. And then let's go ahead and re-render that. Again, this will take just a minute. We'll get it going. And once it's done, this will be the conclusion of our project. Come on, Maya renderer, start up. There we go. Oh, there we go. Darker, a little bit more moody set, but that actually looks more visually what I was after. So I'm content with that. That's going to be my finished rendered image. If you're in my class, this is what I'm looking for. You'll leave this as part of your project when you go to turn in. For everybody else, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next project.